Live now.
Go.
And we are live from the wastelands of the internet. I have come once again.
Woo!
Only this time I have Jensen and Sixer with me. And this
Hail
is a
Hydra.
bit Hail Hydra. And we are this is a bit of an impromptu one where we this was not planned in any way, shape, or form, but there was some news that Jensen had mentioned and he wanted to discuss, and I kind of wanted to discuss it too. and since Sixer has joined us, why don't Jensen
Yes.
you explain to Sixer what I told you when you complained about the weather?
Oh, yes. I'm just for clarification purposes, I'm assuming it's, to put it politely, effing hot where you are.
I tell you, I'll show you. Hold on. Here we go.
Yes, that'll be effing hot. Well, I'm complaining about it being 81 degrees Fahrenheit here, and Nomad, in his infinite glorious wisdom, has just turned off his AC at 81. He's a heretic, as far as I'm concerned. When it's that hot, you no.
There are other words to describe MC, but I don't want to get his channel demonetized.
I'm not big enough to be monetized. You don't have to worry about that.
Well, there's the other things as well, you know. So
Yes. Don't worry, we have things to say about YouTube, do we not?
Tossed on our ear. Yes.
All right, Crowbag. Oh, we're starting that again, are we?
No, that remains a Batman thing. So.
Oh yes. Technically, I'm more mature than that, and that says a lot. Yeah, no, tell me about it.
Have you seen the memes he sent me?
Have you seen the things he sent to MC as good morning? Oh,
they are
yes.
amusing, but I don't take offense to it. I mean, there's no reason to.
So offensive to make the Taliban blush.
Oh dear, that'd be fun.
Anyway, shall we start with the news, folks? Sixer, can you see? Are you looking at the screen?
Yes, actually, funny enough, I just finished watching a video about that on my Tusi. He was just on that.
Good.
Okay, Ukraine realizes a dream as it launches EU membership talks, but joining is likely to take years. This is from the AP. Brussels. The European Union launched membership talks with Ukraine on Tuesday, a decade after Russian troops seized the Crimea Peninsula to deter the country from moving closer to the west. That's not why it seized the Crimea. All right. Part of a chain of events that set the two neighbors to the path of war. Ukraine's accession negotiations were set in motion at an intergovernmental conference in Luxembourg. Moldova, all right, is also due to launch its membership talks later Tuesday. While the events are a major milestone on their European paths, the talks could take years to conclude. Okay, first things first. With what's going on in France right now, maybe I'm wrong, and you guys can tell me that I'm wrong.
Okay.
But aren't the French citizens really riled about people trying to say, especially the President Macron, trying to tell them that they need to get ready to go to war over there?
Okay, Sixer, shall I take this one?
Go for it, mate. You're better at doing this than I am.
No problem, mate. All right, Nomad. At what point? I'm absolutely fascinated here. Do you actually think that the ruling group in France actually listens to the proletariat? I mean, really?
Well,
all right.
France
the Russians
has
listen to their people.
France has a habit of not listening to the proletariat and having the proletariat cut their heads off.
I didn't say it was a bad idea. Personally, I actually fully support them doing this. But the point being is that the nobles, etc., just don't listen to the peons and believe that if they basically shout loud enough, that us peons, and I'm using the term us peons in this equation, are basically just going to back down, grumble a bit, and carry on. Well,
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think that is going to happen in France. And to use the technical term, French Revolution 2 Electric Boogaloo. I can see it coming, can't you?
So Madame Guillotine will be coming out the mothballs, then, huh?
Oh no! How sad.
Never mind. Well, I'll see what's on with these two countries. There's just another two countries for the EU to leech and drain of resources.
Well, okay.
Yes.
And that's probably why the French nationalists are gaining in their polling going forward, right? It's because people have had enough of the EU and this kind of nonsense. Now, when the EU was talking about being just strictly an economic bloc, it was very effective, right?
Yeah.
But the road the EU is going down now, let's be perfectly frank, why shouldn't the EU, and I'm serious about this question, invite not just the Ukraine, not just Moldova, right, but Russia into it?
Yeah, you're saying that using the concept of defining the European part. I'm going to remind you that Eurovision, which I realise is a bit of a side tangent on what we're discussing, but it's still Euro, defines Australia as part of being Eurovision. It defines Israel, and yeah, you can see where that could go. Really interesting thing by Israel, but Israel as part of the European singing coalition. So why don't they just invite them into EU? Please note that they're saying it's going to take them absolutely years to join. It didn't. It took us years to get out. So it could take them an absolute ass ton of time. Okay. I personally think we did the right thing getting out.
It took us years because there are a load of bloody bureaucrats trying to keep us in.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, your problem was your elitists were trying to prevent that from at all costs. Let's be perfectly
absolutely. I said bureaucrats.
Okay, there was no reason, and quite frankly, the EU is having the exact kind of problem I expected them to have with the talks with the Northern Irish and the Irish, because of that border, right? Which is exactly what I told you was needed on the British side, and exactly what the British eventually did, which is, okay, there is no border as far as we're concerned. Yeah, but you got to stop them from coming across. No, we don't.
Yep.
I mean, you guys didn't want a border. You wanted to make sure there was no border there. Okay, we agree. Next.
Yeah.
How tough is that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It's like with these sanctuary states you have over there. You know, they don't mind inviting them in other people's homes, but they don't like it when it's on their back garden.
They just
like they did with the elites when they shipped them off to the elites area, and then as soon as they entered the area, they shipped them back again.
No, they shipped them effectively to military bases.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't mind them when it goes to other people's road, but they don't like it when they're on their own back doorstep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Irish. There was a poll. I don't know who did the poll, right? But it came out and it listed Ireland as the fifth, or not the fifth, the third richest country in the world. Okay, we didn't even make the top 5. The United States didn't even make the top 5. China didn't make the top
5. Okay, cool, interesting. I believe the word you're looking for is idiots, but okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to let it go for now.
Now there was 2 more Europeans that were on the list. One was Switzerland. One was Luxembourg. Those are not a surprise.
Yes, but let's be honest, Nomad. We know why Switzerland was one of the richest. Cough, cough. Nazi Germany. Cough, cough. Gold. Cough, cough.
Well, I mean, banking in Luxembourg and banking. I mean, it all fits, right?
Hey, I'm just saying.
I'm just putting it out there. Is that this is how they went about this, and I was like, I don't know what criteria they were using, right? But there's no way anyone in their right mind would sit up there and say that Ireland is in the top 5 richest countries in the world. And I'm not trying to take
No.
anything away from Ireland,
No,
but
No, I agree with you, mate.
you're
I
one
agree,
step
good.
above what the Ukrainians are like. Just putting it out there.
You enjoying yourself there, Sigler?
Huh?
You enjoying yourself there, mate?
Yeah, I'm listening in. I mean, you're pretty much saying everything that needs to be said, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I can hear. It sounds like bags of Christian.
Oh, you mean this?
Yeah, it's that.
Sorry.
It's all right, mate.
I should have muted when I did that.
No worries.
But the one thing,
Yes, typical sense.
but the one thing, like I said, is there a reason why in the original EU common market mentality that Russia shouldn't have been included?
I will point out at one point, actually, they attempted to join and almost got into NATO, which is kind of funny when you work on the idea that that was directly created to go against Russia. But apparently, they when I say almost got in, it was a hair's breadth. I believe it was you lot that actually turned around and said no.
Which doesn't say much for our wonderful partners above us in America's hat, nor you guys when it really comes down to that.
Wow.
Now you guys are having an election on July 4th, I believe, correct?
Yes, funny enough, on your Independence Day, which was quite. I can't see the irony's not lost on me on that. We're about to lose our independence. How about that?
Yeah.
Now I know that Labor is set to win all these seats.
Theoretically, yes.
Theoretically, yes.
Okay.
Because of our past to post system, so it's very much in their favor.
Okay. Do people's nature right now? And you guys, let me be honest. The people that are called conservatives in your realm of the world, I don't know how you can consider them conservative.
We don't. That's why I call them Tories. That's why I'm calling Tories and not conservatives, because they don't conserve anything. They don't conserve anything.
They have basically taken the concept of conservative and absolutely done horrible things to it in the back of the woodshed.
Hi, Sean. Hi, Chris.
Very, things that will make a pedo blush.
Yes.
Well, but okay.
It's.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. We're fucked for the next 5 years, but I don't think Labour's going to last long 1 year. So let's see what happens.
Oh no!
You especially really think Labour is going to get rolled that quickly when they roll out?
Labour is not going to last long with it because they will totally destroy this country, and everyone will soon realise. Unfortunately, people that here will have to learn the hard way before they realise they fucked up.
If I may butt in here, Nomad, I actually said a little while ago, I was talking with you and Shirati on one of your streams, and we were discussing what would happen if your country was dumb enough to actually allow Biden back in. And she made it clear that that's never going to happen. People aren't that stupid. And I'm like, yeah. Well, England's currently going through the same situation. We are going to allow the bad guys in. They are going to absolutely wreck ass over here, and then we are going to kick them out and start again. Now, quite who we start again with is open to discussion. Cough, cough. It'd be good if it was the Reform Party, but yeah, I don't see it happening.
I don't need to go cough. I want it to be reform. No cough about it. I'll be glad. I'm hoping that he will be the opposition in Parliament. I really do.
Yeah, but like you said, first past the post is never
Past
going
post, the results have to be overwhelming for that to happen. No amount of past the post can hide the fact that they can get in, but it has to be a massive amount.
I agree.
The problem with past the post is you can have all the votes, but you won't have the seat. Where the other side won't have the votes, but will have the seats.
Yeah,
that's past the post. That is past the post.
Yeah.
Well,
America's actually kind of lucky in that way. It doesn't have the same complete balls up that we've got as a political system.
Well,
and unfortunately, we're going to have to go through our version of Biden before everyone realizes they fucked up. Oh, speaking of fucked up.
Hello, Jensen. Hello, Nomad. Shite.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So, yes.
The Reform Party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so basically we gotta go through 5 years of our version of Biden before everyone wakes up and realizes they fucked up.
So, I mean, you're saying 5 years. That's assuming.
I did say. I did say it. Probably Labour won't even last the first 2 years, but
that is fair. Just pointing out. If I said the word Guy Fawkes, maybe that would,
Ooh, careful.
No, I think these days it would be more like Osama Jensen. I think these days it's going to be more likely Osama bin Fawkes.
Actually, that's the disturbing part, because have you heard about the Muslim parties that are actually gaining an awful lot of power in
anyway,
Muslim
you
party
can't use the word guy, so it'll have to be non-binary folks.
Person folks.
Non-binary folks.
Not wrong. Oh dear. But yeah, that's my opinion on the British political system.
It's fucked.
Long live Guy Fawkes. I mean, non-binary
Viva Vendetta.
Viva Vendetta, yeah.
Oh, don't.
Although in these politically correct terms, it'd probably be Viva Vagina.
Yeah. You can't say that. Oh,
actually, no. People with cervix or something like that.
No, actually, have you heard? Apparently, you're supposed to call that officially the front bottom.
Oh.
No, that isn't an official term. Sorry, carry on.
Just a comment. You said that you talked to Sherardi, and she said there's no way we would reelect Biden. I don't. I am not as sanguine to assume that because people are stupid. Number one, and it's very very freaking possible. And quite frankly, to fix our system, there's really only one fix. But people are going to have to come to that conclusion, which is we need what's known as a convention of states, which will dramatically change America. It'll dramatically change the country if and when it comes into being.
Yes.
One thing that might actually help the United States out is to become a federal state, a federal union of independent states.
Right, and that in order to get back to that point, we need to bring out the convention of states. But it's a pipe dream at this point because people just are too terrified of it right at the moment, and they haven't gotten angry enough yet. But it's going to happen sooner or later.
One of the reasons the United States is failing now, it's a problem which has always been endemic with political systems. The larger they get, and I'm on about geographically larger here, they become even more and more unwieldy, and that's why Russia keeps failing. Russia's too big. Also, Russia's sparsely populated. America's heavily populated and too big, and the high population makes the problem even worse.
It exacerbates it in a certain sense, but if we're going to have to redress things, there's no doubt about that. Ready for the next story?
Yeah.
Our problem is we let Tony Blair turn up the immigration dial to 10.
And then the Conservatives didn't do anything about it and shoved it all to 12.
Yep.
Okay, just before you read this, man, I misread what it said there, and I'll tell you what I read.
That's what I did as well. I just said
You've all just misread it, haven't you?
Yeah. Yes.
We missed the R out.
It's all the R out,
Exactly.
yes.
I saw San Francisco and I saw gay whales, and it was like, yeah, that actually sounds about
I
reasonable.
got right, doesn't it? Yeah.
Wildlife.
I had to look at it 3 times before I realised it was an R on it.
All right. Gray
Yeah,
whales
you can
swimming
into
San Francisco Bay are increasing in numbers.
You can tell it's a gay whale when it swims backwards into a submarine.
Ooh, ramming speed.
Ramming speed.
Fire those torpedoes.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a nuclear sub in your pocket? Are you pleased to see me?
We are the
Let's go
Chinese,
ballistic.
don't you understand? The Chinese.
Die.
Anyway, great.
Oh my.
Moving on. I told you it would turn into shit show empty when we're all here.
Gray whales have been
Gray
whales have been veered off their normal routes along the West Coast and swimming under the Golden Gate Bridge into San Francisco Bay in unprecedented numbers. Using thousands of photographs of distinctive markings on the whales' backs to identify them, marine scientists have confirmed that at least 71 different gray whales and possibly 84 or more have swam into the bay between 2018 to 2023, with some staying for more than 2 months, raising their risk of being hit by cargo ships, oil tankers, and other large vessels. Okay,
So had a whale of a time.
So
yet none of these wheels have collided with a bridge.
Yeah. That was cold, sir. That was cold.
Water is cold. Water, yeah.
See, this is the thing that makes me laugh. Is that we think that this has a lot to do with the fact that the whales haven't been getting enough food, said Bill Craner, a biologist with the Marine Mammal Center, a non-profit group in
Climate change.
All right. They may be weak and resting for a while or looking for an alternative food source. Some are malnourished, he said. Between 2019 and 2023, 22 gray whales were found dead in or near San Francisco Bay, according to data from the Marine Mammal Center, the California Academy of Sciences, and public agencies.
Yeah, I read about that because one of those whales that had a note in its flipper saying, "I have information that could lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton."
Right.
Mm-hmm. The 14 died of unknown causes. Researchers performed studies called necropsies on 9 of the whales. 6 died from malnutrition. Go ahead. Necropsies.
Necropsies.
Okay. 6 died
not
from
neurocopsies.
6 died from malnourishment. 3 died from a collision with a ship.
I'm sorry, I want to interrupt here.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say collisions with ships. It says collisions with a ship. That means there was one ship running around, belting all the whales. I mean, dude, you really need to get rid of San Francisco. If they're going around, my God, San Francisco has been invaded by the Japanese.
You might not be entirely correct there, Johnston, because it doesn't say who collided with whom. How do you know that it wasn't the whales colliding with the ship, not the other way around?
In that case, it shows that the captain of the ship really needs bloody help. Because
or the last thing the whales said to each other was "Goodbye, cruel world."
Oh, I thought it was Tora.
Well, probably because the captain of that ship was the same one that collided with the bridge. So there you go. I see a pattern here.
Yeah. I noticed Nomad understood exactly what I said there.
Yep. Not the whale's fault.
And apparently, four more whales were found dead whilst wearing tight corsets.
There's a disturbing mental image which nobody has needed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the orange-headed individual, orange-shaped-headed individual. Revealed.
What was on the blonde? with the blonde tinge at the top.
CNN threatens YouTube channels that plan to provide Trump-Biden debate commentary.
Yeah,
that's
and
gonna
we have good little Timmy Pool, the orange-headed individual, and we're just talking about his shape of his head. I noticed he changed his beanie. You know,
you probably find that out.
How can you tell?
How can you tell? That's not actually a beanie. You see, he's not human, and that's actually what his species has for hair.
Oh,
it's just
okay. On Monday night's episode of Timcast, host Tim Pool revealed that CNN, which is hosting its first presidential debate of the general election season on Thursday, has warned any YouTube channels that it intends to live stream or that intend to live stream the debate while providing commentary for viewers that this would not be permitted under the copyright. All right, the debate will be hosted by Jake Tapper. All right, confirming that we are offering digital platforms the ability to stream the debate only via CNN YouTube, said a CNN spokesman to Pool in a message reviewed by the Post Millennial. We are not granting digital entities the right to stream the debate on their own YouTube channels. I hope that helps. It's
so
not going to stop.
What happens if you've got some people there, actually physically there, who are streaming the debate to their YouTube channels via their own systems?
May I answer this? There won't be anyone there. They're actually shutting it down, so there's only going to be Trump and Biden, and of course Biden's 50 puppeteers that actually keep him moving.
The reason I want to do it because they can now edit it out as well, edit things all to make Trump look bad. So there you go.
There is actually the suggestion, and I stress the word suggestion, but there is a suggestion that the actual thing isn't going to be live. It's going to basically happen about an hour or so later. Sorry, an hour or so beforehand, so as they can edit the living hell out of it.
That's what Tim Pool said as well. That's what Tim Pool said on one of his streams.
I didn't get that far in one I had.
If Biden's involved, it's only going to be partially live, isn't it?
This is a fair statement, yes.
Well, it depends what sort of cocktail they inject into his arm.
Wouldn't matter. Yeah, for drugs to affect you, you must have a circulation.
There'll be somebody next to him with a pump.
Batman, look up adrenochrome. Apparently, that is something that is being used often. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Problem is now he probably used it so many times it probably won't have an effect on him anymore.
What I'd like is if for it to actually be live and Biden to be answering his questions via some guy over his head, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that guy, while he's delivering Biden's lines, to be interrupted by somebody walking into his office and having an argument with him. Can you imagine Biden's answering this question and starts arguing with somebody who isn't there?
In other words, it'd be exactly normal.
Normal for him anyway. Yeah.
I'm going to say the same thing I said about every single debate that these people have. All right.
I hope he shits his pants.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's Trump. It doesn't matter if it's Biden. I said the same thing about debates. This is not a debate.
Cornel.
All right, and that's the problem. I've had a problem with this kind of stuff for a long time. What this is a question and answer session by a group of freaking, anti-American hitmen. All right, which Jake Tapper is, in my opinion. All right, it doesn't freaking matter. Okay. All right, it's not a debate. A debate would be, this is what my priorities are. Here's how I see these priorities. Let the other guy go in there, well, here are what my priorities are, and this is how I see my priorities. And let the public decide from that. You never hear the relevant questions that people want to hear, because what you have on one side is a propagandist who's going to ask questions with that propagandist in mind, regardless of who it is. Regardless of who the person, who's given it. They're not a moderator. They're the ones asking the questions. That's not a debate. Okay? Now, that might be the Harvard, way of doing the debates in the debate school. Don't you understand? No, that. But it isn't a freaking debate.
No.
Nowadays they debate how you have a conversation, Nomad. Actually, I'm being cruel. They don't. They're far worse than you. I've seen videos of modern debates in universities, and they don't
What
stop
debates?
talking, even when they don't have anything to say. They'll make a point, and in between that point, they'll go,
Yep.
until and think of something else to say, just to stop the other side from talking.
Yeah.
Not really a debate, then, isn't it?
It's
Really?
overexcited filibuster. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the debate is I make a statement, you counter that statement, I defend that statement, and after I've defended that statement, I sit down so you can get up to refute my defence. I mean, we've seen that kind of thing with the what is it? It's the Royal Society of Debates or something in the UK.
Yes.
Yeah, with that chubby that Rafe Manco, or whatever it's called.
Yes.
Oh, he's brilliant, him.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Or
Grace Mancool, yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
or that Christian Constantine.
Constantine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's good. I mean, even when they're disrespectful to each other, they still stand up. They make this statement. Sit down.
Yes. Agreed.
Yep.
My favourite ones actually is when they get their what the hell you call her?
Give me a clue.
Very right wing.
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
No.
Oh wow.
English.
Okay.
Mar-
You can get much more right wing than that. Come on.
English
Ooh.
woman. Christ.
Oh,
Katie Hopkins.
Yes.
Katie Hopkins.
Katie Hopkins. Thank you. Yeah, she's
right.
brilliant in debates.
Absolutely.
She's definitely interesting. I'll
She's
give her that.
vicious. She is vicious.
Even when she's vicious, though, she's.
I know, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's
respectful
what I like about her. That's what I like about her, because she's vicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even when she's vicious, she's pleasant and respectful about it.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's why she's vicious.
Yeah.
She does it with a smile on her face. It's quite disturbing, actually.
Now, I realise you two probably aren't into watching the TV series Big Brother, but she was on there one time. Oh my God, that was fun. The rest of the house tried to, put her down. I'll give you a clue. It didn't work.
That would be, Chris, that would be quite interesting, actually. I think Trump should bring a megaphone for when they turn his mic.
He doesn't need one. He's a walking megaphone. He doesn't need a megaphone.
Yeah,
Bloody hell.
but just the optics of that would be so awesome.
I mean, you remember the last time they tried to cut his mic?
It's going to go so badly.
All right.
It really is.
How do you think this is going to play out? We'll get to the next story. Israel's High Court orders the army to draft ultra-Orthodox men rattling Netanyahu's government. The Israeli Supreme Court on Tuesday ruled unanimously that the military must begin drafting ultra-Orthodox men for compulsory service, a landmark decision that could lead to the collapse of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's governing coalition as Israel continues to wage war in Gaza.
Well, I think he knows he's already fucked him, so he might as well go the whole hog.
Well, okay. Now let's stop here for a second, because why, if you're in the government and you're one of these ultra-religious guys, or the ultra-Orthodox guys, right? And you're part of that government, why would you try to take it out on Netanyahu if it's a Supreme Court ruling?
Oh, it's a Supreme Court ruling, is it? It's not his decision.
Yeah, it's not his decision.
It doesn't matter.
Wow.
It doesn't matter. He is the head of state. As the head of state, he is basically the final stop of all authority. He takes responsibility, even if it's not his fault.
Oh, he's meant to.
You're meant to
change it to that.
Well, yeah, but
so
you're not.
Pedantic.
But you're dealing with a parliamentary system similar to yours, right?
Hold on. The saying is, the buck stops here, not the buck pauses here, looks around, and continues on.
Fair.
Okay, but the Supreme Court. Okay, I have a hard time understanding this because my assumption of the Supreme Court is that it is independent.
It's nothing like yours.
Right. I realize that it isn't like ours in a certain sense, but the Supreme Court in Israel is similar to the Supreme Court in England, isn't it?
No.
No, we don't. I don't think we have a Supreme Court.
Yes,
no,
we
we do have a
Do we?
Supreme Court.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
I never heard of
Tony
it.
Blair
but
got
yeah.
one,
Yep, Blair brought it in. He thought it'd be a good idea.
but it's on a purely English model because after all it's operating
we're
on
fucked.
English common law.
Yeah,
Right.
But it's still something we shouldn't have.
agreed.
That's okay.
Oh, okay.
That's what made me think. I didn't know we had one.
Oh, yeah.
Why shouldn't you have it?
Because it's contrary to our political and legal system.
Which has now been fucked up even further.
Yeah.
Please remember that although we have the Supreme Court, it has absolutely no power because the ECHR turns around, pats it on his head and says, "Go and sit down and shut
So
up."
it's the EU that's in charge of us, unfortunately, regardless whether we're in or out. Thanks to
Oh.
bloody Theresa May and Boris Bozo Johnson.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm still okay with the idea of going to war with the EU. I just want that. to stay.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm not. Because of one important reason.
Go on.
Where do you think all our ammunition comes from? We don't make ammunition in this country anymore.
Yeah, because it's all overseas now, isn't it?
So
Like everything else.
my suggestion would be that we bring the ammunition construction back over here. It opens up the jobs over here. We make our own.
Yeah, but yeah, you need the government to do that, and this government's not going to fucking do it. And nor is the next one.
If you did that, Jensen, it would open up more than jobs in the munitions industry. For a brief period of time, it would open jobs in the construction industry because you'd have to rebuild those fucking factories. Well, in one in the 80s. In a town called it was in a town just up the road called Berkeley. It's now a field.
Oh.
Yes.
I believe that is the same for all the other munitions factories we had.
I'm sure they can find a building. I mean, they keep housing all these illegals, so I'm sure they can turn another building into the factory.
Yeah.
They find the resources when they want to.
It'd be far better to build one because munitions factories have to be secure.
I know, but I'm just saying, this government seems to find resources for things that we don't want, but
Well, okay, but once
And
again, let's get back to the central questions. Aren't the courts supposed to be
Yep.
independent?
They should be.
Well, I'm sorry. Are you really saying that to me after the crap show that goes on with your courts in America?
Well, if you noticed, well, no. I'm gonna do a little bit of defense of our courts. Everybody's mad at the court, right?
That's
the
fine.
left is mad at the court, the right's mad at the court because they make rulings that go against both sides, right?
Oh,
So-
no, that's not the point I'm arguing about. I'm arguing the fact that your president turns around and ignores your courts and does whatever the hell
Well,
he
that's
feels like.
okay.
he's going to do it regardless.
That's a separate issue, and I do agree with that is
was
a
my
problem.
point.
But the court itself is independent. The court-
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying it's independent, and I hate to say this, but I'm really apologetic for saying it, but it's also bloody useless.
It's not just the courts in the States, it's entire cities. I mean, they still have sanctuary cities over there, which are acting in violation of American law by being sanctuary cities.
There is an aspect to that that's true. There's the
So in
redressing
effect,
on
they're
that.
ignoring the
There
court.
has been a redressing on that that's coming slowly, but it's coming.
Yeah, because they're learning the fucking hardware now. That was a bad idea.
Apparently, New York's kicking out all the migrants.
It's not
And
just there.
Chicago.
Still not stopping the
Look,
crime,
that's-
though, not arresting them.
what
They're letting them out.
I don't think that the migrants, especially in this country, I don't think the migrants should be kicked out. I think they should be kicked in.
I'm going to remind you
What, the
that
teeth,
Kurt
the head,
Russell-
the legs?
Yes.
Yes.
No. Kurt Russell actually had the right idea. Escape from New York. In this case, it's more like send them to New York.
Well, okay, but let's
And
get
just build
back
bloody
to
Build a wall, big beautiful wall around New York.
let's get back to this thing in Israel, right? If you're a member of this
Yes.
this cabinet and everything, what are you going to gain? What do you hope to gain by bringing down Netanyahu's government? Are you going to what would they gain by that?
Because they want a lefty section in it, don't they?
Probably
want to curry favor with the outside world.
Yeah,
well, but
and they want to.
Okay, any Orthodox religion, if it wants to curry favor with the outside world, is barking up the wrong tree.
No, we're not on about an Orthodox religion. We're on about cabinet. We're on about politicians.
Yeah.
That's also fair.
Because
okay,
they want to trade.
But don't you understand where you're at, where your bread is buttered? You're just basically going to lose power if they go about it that way. I just don't understand why everyone thinks that this cabinet is going to destroy something.
Hey, every country has their own rhinos. What do you think?
I understand that.
Look at governments all over the Western world, and like I don't know, Israel is pretty much part of Western civilization. It's a model of Western civilization.
Yes.
Every Western government is doing the same thing, ignoring the populace, ignoring the people that it should be protecting.
Yeah.
Didn't I literally just finish saying this about
where Israel is is looking after its populace, while when we were supposed to be are not.
Yeah, there is that as well. Yes, I've got a chant for you. From the river to the sea, all this land is Israeli.
Okay, and on that note, let's go to the next story, shall we?
We just getting started. Come on.
It's been hell. Injured Amazon workers turned to GoFundMe to pay the bills. Amazon.
Do you know what the worst thing about working in Amazon is?
The bugs, the spiders,
the headhunters.
The headhunters. Yeah, I knew that. Hey, you take it back. There's nothing wrong with cannibals. Thank you very much.
There is if you're on the menu.
Amazon workers left unable to work by injuries on the job have resorted to online fundraising campaigns to pay their bills as they fight for compensation, and disability benefits. 3 current employees injured while working in the technology's giant warehouses describe a bureaucratic, terrible process while they sought financial support. One is rendered homeless. Homeless. I corrected myself. All right. During the interviews,
you are hopeless. Yeah, you are hopeless.
During interviews with The Guardian, they alleged the company ignored workers' concerns over the strains of warehouse work, denied requests for compensation or benefits after injuries, and put productivity above all else. In response, Amazon has acknowledged a few problems, but claimed that the workers provided a lot of inaccurate information. The company did not specify which parts of the account were deemed inaccurate.
This is about American Amazon warehouses.
I'd say it was pretty much all over.
It's a worldwide concern. I know people who have worked for them, and apparently, working for Amazon has a high turnover of staff because they're a horrible fucking company to work for.
Yeah. Can I just point out that? Are you telling me that a corporation is putting productivity above everything else? When has that ever happened? No, I am absolutely stunned. That has never happened.
Shocked, I say. Shocked, I say.
The corporation doesn't do that. Goes out of business within a week.
Yep, that's the point.
Most corporations try to, at the very least, treat their employees reasonably. Amazon don't. Amazon treat their employees like they treat the equipment in the warehouse.
Yeah,
in fact, the equipment in the warehouse gets better treatment.
Batman. In England, they would just give the jobs to the illegal immigrants, and in America, they'll just give the job to the illegal immigrants.
You mean the New English?
Exactly.
I'm surprised
why would they give a shit? I know. Honestly, why would they give a crap about it? It doesn't matter. I mean, what are these people going to do? Complain?
That's
no, they're kicked out.
Yeah, that's
their excuses for hiring.
I said other companies. I'd say the majority of companies will treat their employees with respect.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, that way, because they know you give a man respect who's doing a job for you. He's going to do a better job for you.
Yes.
Amazon don't care.
No.
They treat, like it says, I know this from people who've worked there. I was actually going to apply for a job at Amazon, and my work coach says don't, because it'll kill you.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk. Let's go over to this guy's story. In August of 2023, and let me put this back up here again. Keith Williams was loading containers by himself off a trailer in a shipping dock at Amazon's SF1 warehouse in Rock Tavern, New York. All right, a computer desk fell onto him, hitting him in the back of his head. Feeling nauseous and dizzy from being struck, Williams went to Amcare. Amcare is the on-site medical unit in Amazon, where he was given aspirin and ice. He went to urgent care because he said they didn't know what to do for him at Amcare. No shit.
Sounds more like don't care.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what did you expect them to do? Honestly,
Okay,
what can they do? Is this guy expecting to have a full medical clinic where it can do X-rays and everything else? This guy obviously had a concussion. Don't get me wrong. All right, he is injured. I totally agree with that. All right, but the on-site doctors, all right, are not going to be able to fix any, a concussion.
That's true.
Any more than the doctors on the sides of fields of American football teams when the guy gets a concussion, where they have to send him to the local hospital. Okay,
that's true, but he has to do that. I mean, it's health and safety. Yeah, you get injured at work, the first thing you do is report it. In this case, go to Amcare. Hold on, let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
Where they should have, at the very least, a competent first aider there.
Okay.
Who will be, at the very least, able to say, you should go to hospital.
Yes.
How do you know that there's nothing in here that says that they didn't do that?
There's also nothing in there that says they did do that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we're talking the Guardian is writing this story. Let's be honest.
I would just like.
Well, there's your first mistake.
I'm talking to a bunch of people here that would basically gone with the attitude of, oh no, I've had an accident, my legs come off. I'll shut up, eat a salt tablet and rub some dirt in it. It'll be fine in the morning.
Walk it off.
Am I wrong at any point?
No, you're not wrong. But the thing is when you have these kinds of things, the initial reaction is just how you have to observe the person for a while before you say, okay, yeah, you need to go to the hospital. Okay, we had a guy on a true football pitch, all right, who basically had his head whacked when we were playing soccer. He basically
Hey, Maddie.
He got bent over and slammed back into the ground. All right, where his head just hit the ground.
Ouch.
And we took him off. We observed him for a while. He was obviously having symptoms of a concussion, and but it took a good 10 minutes for us to say, okay, we need to take you in, all right, to the hospital, all right, and you're going to see that. I think what they're doing with this with Amcare, okay, is a little bit beyond the pale, all right, for especially from the symptoms that they were describing, that this guy said he was describing, all right. You don't know what exactly happened. Now, granted, okay, I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to defend Amazon, all right, in their practices in warehouses. But to me, and I'll be perfectly blunt, this sounds like a normal warehouse practice, and warehouses are reacting like warehouses always have, whether it's Safeway, whether it's Sears, whether it's Raytheon. This is what happens in warehouses, and this has always been the kinds of reactions that you get when something falls on somebody's head, because eventually in a warehouse, something always falls on somebody's head.
Yep.
Though, if I may, just for a moment, let's be honest, if something fell on your head in Raytheon, there's a fair chance it might be the last thing you see, because they are known for building certain things that you don't want falling on your head.
They have
My uncle worked in the cash and carry warehouse back in the 90s. When Caterpillar left the UK.
Yeah.
Because he used to work at Caterpillar since the 60s until they left.
Yeah.
And, well, due to an idiot who'd badly stacked some of the shelves in the warehouse, he ended up having to go to hospital, had his neck brace for several months because a frozen turkey had slid off the top shelf and beamed him.
Ooh. Gobble, gobble.
Yeah.
So I apologise for laughing, but I can't help it.
Yeah, a Christmas turkey at that. So imagine the size
Turkey's revenge.
Basically getting hit by a frozen bird the size of a 3-year-old child.
It's probably better than being hit in the head by a frozen 3-year-old child. Let's be fair.
Well,
though I'm making.
If you're going to reverse it, it would be the frozen 3-year-old child the size of a bird, so it wouldn't be so bad.
This is true. This is true. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sean. What happened to the guy was they were charging for a ball, and Americans when they play soccer, when that
football
are not where we're just our normal way, not professionally, because we haven't figured out how to, flail around and act
kick
like
the ball.
we're hurt, right? We know how to kick it, but we don't know how to control it.
You're playing a game called football, and the ball doesn't even come anywhere near your feet. Come on!
No. I'm talking specifically about soccer right now. So
football. And, Nomad, I disagree with you. I've seen your national side playing in various World Cups, and each time they're better.
They get better. Yeah, they're getting better.
They do play at world class levels.
No.
They could play for any team over here.
I understand.
Let's
but
be honest.
What my comment was though is a bunch of us, in more or less a pickup kind of like a pickup game where we didn't grow up with this. This is the first time we're playing it at 19 and 20 years old, and we're running around whacking a ball. Okay.
Yeah.
The rules.
Have you ever seen Escape to Victory?
No rules, no blood, no foul was how we were playing. We were slide tackling.
What annoys me is
all sorts of things.
If you're talking about sports, what about cricket? We invented the game, and we get beaten by it by other countries that picked it up.
Actually, Nomad, when we play pick up, as you call it, just a bunch of lads. I mean, this is how we used to play it as little kids, as well as young adults. It's exactly how you just described. No harm, no foul, apart from the no harm bit.
Yeah.
It's just you kicking the ball around with your mates on people you know, or on a piece of a disused piece of land. There's no foul rule. You can take somebody's legs out from under them, and continue on.
Yeah, but see, we haven't even learned.
You know that they're going to get you back.
Yeah, see, we haven't learned the because we're playing it for the first time. Okay, so you grew up as young lads playing it. Okay, we haven't even done that. Okay, so this is all the first time. Okay, so it's kind of
God, yeah, that's the one. I remember seeing this American footballer. I can't remember his name. Right, Gridiron. And he got to try rugby, and he said, he really after making fun of them, he really respected them, and he never wanted to play that horrible, terrifying game ever again.
That's why we think American football is rugby for pussies.
Yeah,
it's not. Well, no, it's an entirely different type of game that focuses on something entirely different. This is one of the reasons why they're all
between each turn.
It focuses on advertisement. It's built around advertising.
Yep.
Okay, let's go on to America's hat.
Oh, our favorite Mr. Blackface.
All right, Justin Trudeau gets a wake-up call. In a stunning loss in a special election, it amplifies questions about the Prime Minister's future. The heat just got cranked up on Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, all right, following a surprise defeat to his party's candidate in a special election for a seat long considered safe. The staggering loss comes amid Canada's affordability crisis and welling desire for political change will only amp up the pressure on Trudeau to resign for the good of his party. Liberals suffered a major blow to Conservatives in a one-off race, losing the urban stronghold seat in Toronto, St. Paul's, all right, that had been held since 1993. The thing that I have to say about this, though, is, like it or not, Trudeau is a politician. He's been able to stay in power long after what I would have considered viability. He's found a way to keep it alive. And he's enjoying
power too much.
Oh,
yeah. You think he's going to give us something like that? Dictator like him, do you think he's going to give up something like that? No, of course not. He ain't going to resign.
All right. So
unfortunately, very true.
And with all due respect, I don't trust Canadians to make the right decision because they keep keeping this guy in power. Okay.
It's a good job my animator's not here.
I'm just going to remind you, Canadians just failed French, and you know what I think of the French. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
He's also French Canadian.
I feel bad for you, Sixer, having to work with a creature like
that. He's all right, just as long as we don't talk about politics, because he's very much a lefty. Batman found out.
They all are. Oh, yes. All Canadians are lefties.
He's even got pronouns, apparently.
So I told him, do not bring this here. I said, I value our friendship too much. Let's not talk about politics. I value our friendship way too much.
Actually, no, Matt, that's shockingly untrue. All Canadians being lefties. All Canadians are not lefties, as the truckers showed us.
Exactly.
Okay, they're either lefties or
mostly.
Sorry. Were they effective in doing anything, or did they just get arrested and tossed in jail?
Well, they just proved a point, and then there is no freedom in Canada.
That's true.
They're actually probably part of the reason why the left is starting to fail in Canada.
Exactly, because the people on the left are showing their true colours when they attack the truckers.
Yep.
I can only hope.
Everyone's seeing what's happening now.
But we'll see. But
they had bouncy castles over children apparently, but yet this was some sort of far right scheme.
Oh God! If that chain of bars, which you're going to be talking about in a minute, was formed by a Jewish consortium, its name would be on about noses, not what it is on about.
Not wrong.
Have a picture of Barry Manilow on the front.
Back to America, where we have sad news. Hooters has abruptly shuttered 40 locations as restaurant crisis deepens. Hooters, known for its scantily clad waitresses, is the latest restaurant chain to abruptly shutter locations. Like other struggling chains such as Red Lobster, Hooters is blaming the rising cost of rent and food. The raft of closures happened over the weekend, while others were in recent weeks, including in Florida, Kentucky, Rhode Island, Texas, and Virginia. The company is not thought to be in dire financial situation as Red Lobster, which filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Okay, first of all, here's a Hooters waitress. Is this scantily clad to you, gentlemen?
No.
Yes and no. It depends upon the outlook, but to me,
it depends. Ask a feminist, they'll say. Ask a feminist, they'll say yes.
It's not the feminists who are closing it, according to what Noah's just read out. It's financial shit.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, the feminists have been trying to shut Hooters down for years, and they have not gotten anywhere near succeeding.
They did it with they managed to see with the bloody Grid Girls, didn't they?
That's the Grid Girls. That's something.
Yeah, I know. I'm just an example.
This is what Hooters is known for. Let's be honest. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yes.
Yeah, all right. So the idea.
You can get a good glass of milk there.
Suddenly I feel hungry.
The thing is Trump has a solution for these guys. Okay, Trump has a solution, and the solution is he wants to bar taxes on tips.
Yes.
If I
I've got
guarantee
even
you,
better idea.
I guarantee you, if they bar taxes on tips, they wouldn't have a problem.
I've got an even better idea. Pay your fucking service staff a full fucking wage, and you wouldn't have to have tips.
Rely on tips, exactly. Yeah.
Whoa. No, America does it a bit different.
Yes, tips are
okay. Just one. Go on, sir. Go on.
Tips are a staple of making sure that the waiters and waitresses give you prompt, effective service. Yeah. Okay, Americans would go into a place to eat, and they want to eat and get out. Okay, they don't go in. Americans don't go and have a leisurely dinner in restaurants. That's not what it's for. If you want a leisurely dinner, you have that at home.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Even so, I mean, over here, if we know that we've got a tip in a restaurant to get decent service, that restaurant will go out of business.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Britain does not have a tipping.
Because I have heard people who work in that kind of industry in the States say that if it's not for tips, they don't earn enough.
Yes.
Over here, our service staff, like waiters, cooks, and that, they get a full wage.
Yeah, they don't need tips.
Yeah, no, Sean's right. There are a lot of restaurants now that are trying to force the where all the tips are paid in a common pool, and then they share that common pool. But that communist ideal came about for a lot of other reasons. Personally, all right, the idea of tipping should go back to the way it was, which is you would leave extra money on the table for the person who was assigned as your server if you think that they did a really good job.
To be fair, there are times when for a restaurant and we didn't have to tip it, but because our waitress did, so we did actually give them a tip.
Yeah.
We didn't have to, but we did.
I mean, there's sometimes you're in the when you used to be able to afford to go to the pub, the barmaid does a good job. Do you want one yourself?
But they didn't need it because they get a good wage. They didn't really need a tip, but because they did a good service, we gave them a tip.
Yeah, or you bought them a drink.
Or bought them a drink, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
That could get people in trouble in America if you buy the staff drinks. They can't drink alcohol while they're working in bars.
You say, do you want one yourself? Oh, thanks. I'll have a lemonade or I'll have a cola.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't just do alcohol drinks then, mate.
To me, what's the point?
Anyway. He's not wrong there.
The point is you stay sober and you keep your job.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Although you might want to go to the toilet later. There you go.
Well, that's you six of putting diuretics in people's drinks.
Yeah, I know.
Teens pretended
we did that to this lad once. My mate's 18th birthday, we all bought him a drink, right? And the last one of the night we bought him, we'd all clubbed together and we put laxative powder in his because we bought him a Guinness, so we put laxative powder in. 10 of us put a sachet of laxative powder in his last Guinness each.
10 sachets. Oh no!
He was off work for a week.
Oh no!
It's surprising he didn't go to the hospital to sit up there to have his intestines replaced.
He did.
Yeah, I believe it.
He never found out what we did.
He does now. If he's watching, hello.
And again, I know that feat. I sort of know something very similar with that one, Batman. When I was younger, I used to put chocolate in the fridge because that's where you store chocolate. Now, somebody was stealing my chocolate all the time.
Oh, I know you did. Yeah.
Yes, I did.
My mum used to have that one. I accidentally had some of my mum's as well, realizing what it was.
No. I deliberately went out, bought laxative chocolate, replaced the chocolate with it, and found out it was B.
Yep, I remember you telling us.
Oh, I did tell you. Okay, I wasn't certain.
Yeah,
Apologies.
I like the story though.
It's funny.
Talking about B,
Yeah,
and her VTM character, VTM character,
yeah.
would that character work in Hooters?
Oh, really?
Really?
Well, she's a foxy lady, so it's possible.
Yeah,
You asked for that one.
yeah. Yes, and she's a fit bird.
Yes.
Okay, teens pretended to be ICE agents to rob Hispanics in Anaheim, police say. 2 teens have been arrested for allegedly pretending to be federal law enforcement agents while targeting and robbing Hispanic people in Orange County and elsewhere in the western United States. Laturo
You notice they're not getting
Bacanu
arrested
and
for
Vasil Andrew, all right, both 19, were arrested Thursday night about 5 hours after the pair of robberies in Anaheim were reported, the Anaheim Police Department said in the news release. The investigator discovered that in both robberies, the suspects approached the victims, identified themselves as immigration and customs enforcement agents, demanded cash from the victims, then fled in a blue SUV, the release said. Officers found the suspect's blue Audi Q7, all right, SUV in Fullerton, and took Bacanu and Andrew into custody. They were booked into the Anaheim Police Department's jail on multiple charges, including several robbery counts, and they are being held without bail. Jail records show that Bacanu is being held at the Theo Lacey facility, while Andrew did not appear in a search. Um, these two are, first of all, they were arrested by the local
Idiot.
police. They are going to be transferred to the FBI. Okay.
Yeah. And I guarantee that the crime they're getting arrested for isn't for the thefts. It's for
No.
impersonating
Person, federal officer. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They are either never to be seen again, or this might be a job recruitment place for the FBI. But I mean, it's one of those.
Or the
things. One or
CIA.
other. Right, just one or the other.
They're the Epsteins, are they?
Yeah, just put it about that they know something about Hillary Clinton. They'll never be seen again.
Oh, look, suicide. Yeah. So are we now doing the animal story then?
We'll do the final story.
What's
Today's
this?
the final story in
Okay.
Jensen's term, the animal story.
And I call it the animal story because just like a little rat, he's running back home. Do continue, Nomad.
Julian Assange leaves jail on his way to enter a plea deal with the United States. The WikiLeaks founder has been held in a British prison for the last 5 years and fought extradition to the United States. He is expected to return to Australia. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange was released from a British prison and is on his way to a remote Pacific island on Tuesday, where he will plead guilty to a conspiracy charge as part of a plea deal with the U.S. Justice Department, according to court documents. The agreement will free Assange and end the years-long legal battle, all right, over the publication of a trove of classified documents. All right, Assange was charged by criminal information. Charged by criminal information. What the hell does that mean? All right, which is typically signifies a plea deal with conspiracy to obtain and disclose national defense information, the court documents show. WikiLeaks posted footage on Twitter, right, or X, of Assange boarding a plane at Stansted Airport near London at 5 p.m. 12 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday. A letter from the Justice Department official Matthew McKenzie said that Assange would appear in court in the Northern Mariana Islands, a U.S.-controlled territory north of Guam, all right, at 9 a.m. local time Wednesday, all right, and plead guilty. Okay. Now, I have said many, many times that I am not a WikiLeaks, all right, friend. Let's put it that way. I'm not a friend of WikiLeaks. Okay. And Julian Assange was not working like the plumbers. Okay. He was a plumber. For those who wonder what the reference is, look it up. Okay. Julian Assange was
That
not
explains what he knows
someone.
about leaks.
Julian Assange was not someone who was just receiving classified data from people who wanted him to review it, and then publish it for their own interests. All right, like a news organization. He was actively, all right, involved, all right, in suborning individuals with classified access, teaching them how to gain that access, and then teaching them how to hide what they were doing in order to gain this access. He was acting like a foreign intelligence service, which is what the son of a bitch was. Okay? Now, I have also said very, very much so, after the terms of his incarceration initially, all right, now, initially he was not arrested for spying or anything else. Initially, he was arrested for a supposed grape charge. Okay.
Oh yes.
And
Yeah, he fucked America.
and
Hmm.
and
No,
that was
he's
in Sweden.
literally right.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so that's where all this came about. But after that, he ended up in Britain, where he served another charge and then was left in solitary confinement for what is it now? 3 years? Close.
You do know why he
5,
was
isn't it?
arrested, don't you? And it's not actually the rape charge as such.
No.
He was arrested for skipping bail
Correct.
based on the rape charge.
Yep.
You might want to actually make that point, because the rape charge isn't, that I know of, the rape charge isn't a country, but basically a worldwide thing, but he skipped bail, and that's why he got his ass.
Yes.
thrown
No,
in jail.
and I agree, and I understand that. All right. Which I don't have a problem with, but he was still held after that. After that charge was he served his time on that charge, he was still left in jail for another 2 years.
Yes.
All right.
That's because we were theoretically we were handing him over to America, which took a really, really,
Yeah, because he took his
really
legal
long
feet in.
yeah. Not like there aren't ways to black bags. I mean, oh, oops, did I say that? Get rid of somebody.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Sorry, my speakers cut.
Yeah,
What did you say?
Good timing on the cutout there.
He has
Yeah, funny,
served
mine
his
went off at the same time.
he has served his sentence, all right, as far as I'm concerned. And I said that also, right? There was no reason
Yeah.
after he had served his sentence to have kept him in solitary confinement. They could have put him and said, okay, while he's fighting extradition, he didn't have to fight extradition from jail. That was nonsensical.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Because, if he wants to fight extradition, you can do that from a hotel room, which is where. And let's be perfectly frank, what we're calling solitary confinement include impregnating a woman. So I'm not sure.
Apparently had 2 children.
Okay, so I mean, I'm not sure how all that, what kind of
Yeah.
solitary confinement that
he-
was. Okay,
He's a piece of shit that deserves jail.
and I do agree with that. He's a POS, right? The
I-
problem that I had with him.
I would say the same, even if he'd been doing it to like Russia or China. Yeah, stealing secrets.
Yeah.
It's reprehensible. I mean, yeah, countries do deserve their right to hold their secrets.
Right. I don't have a
You
problem
could-
with him publishing classified documents. I have a problem with the fact that he was targeting and actually going out of his way to acquire them. There's a difference in America, especially, and
Yeah.
there's a legal difference in America. You can, if you get handed public, a classified document, there's nothing that prevents in America people saying, "Well, this just got handed in my lap. A manila envelope just arrived, and they published it." That's still legal in America. Okay.
Yeah,
the people,
unless it's found
people
out
who sent
before.
that will go to jail, but not the person who
Yeah.
published it. But that's not who Julian
unless-
Assange was, and I'm tired of people
unless-
trying to compare him to people like that, because it's not the same freaking thing.
I keep forgetting when he's on a rant. He's on a rant.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll learn.
I was saying, no, I'll
Why
never
do you think
learn.
I'm
I
being
would have learned
quiet?
by now.
Andrew?
I was going to say, you're right. Unless, of course, the person who's had the manila envelope delivered to him is found out about before he publishes, because then they will put a gag order on him, and if he still publishes, then he'll go to jail. And you're right about the difference, because over here we have the Official Secrets Act, which means even if you get that anonymous manila envelope and you publish it, you will get arrested because you are breaking the Official Secrets Act, even if you have not signed it.
Oh yeah.
If that person in America gets found out, and the government has the authority to go in there and get that evidence back from the publisher. For example, let's say that a brown manila envelope ended up in New York on the editor's desk of the New York Times, and they arrested that guy just as he was leaving the New York Times, and then went into the New York Times while this guy was reading through the classified documents that were put on his desk. But just a hypothetical. Okay. Yes, they can then seize that document. What they can't do, though, is they can't prevent him from saying, "I saw this from a U.S. classified document." He could still publish it, and no repercussions would happen to him.
Do you know the amusing thing? Many pieces of classified U.S. information is also co-classified in the UK. So releasing that.
There is something called Five Eyes where we take classified information.
Hold on, let me finish. By publishing that information, you're breaking the British Official Secrets Act, and if you did it in the UK, you would go to prison. Bang.
Oh yeah.
That's a good point.
Yep.
Actually,
I wish you'd done it
that's a very good point. Right? You might.
I'm actually surprised. I'm actually surprised our government didn't try that on him, because they would have likely succeeded. Then they could have imprisoned him under our Official Secrets Act and just handed him over to America.
The problem there,
he wouldn't have had a leg to stand on.
The problem there would have been identifying that the intelligence that he was gathering was part of the Five Eyes group, and they didn't want to. If it was, they definitely don't want that known. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why they would not have done that. But but it is a good point that if it is something like that, and yes, they could then arrest them for that in black bag him as a Jensen suggestion. Okay, that's everything I got for right now. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream because unfortunately I have to go back to work. So I appreciate everybody coming out. Last words for everybody.
Yeah, right, you lot. It's over. You can foot off now. Go on.
Subscribe to my new channel. Subscribe to my new channel, 6 Live. It's in this chat.
You will enjoy the experience if you do.
Absolutely. Batman was a guest last time, so there you go.
Yeah. And my final last words: they're coming. Watch out.
Yes. Get cleaning equipment.
Oh yes, bring tissues.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye
Bye everybody.
Bye bye.
Piss off. Go on.